the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. I'm here with Pretty Deadly Jesse, and I'm Combat Jones, or other words, you can call me Andrew. How you doing today, Jesse?
The hottest new tag team in the podcasting world.
Yes, sir. That we are. We killing this shit, man. Yeah.
Killing the business.
Yeah. And we got a lot to talk about again today, as always, with the WWE Universe and the King and Queen of the Ring tournament that was live in Saudi Arabia this last week. And then a little bit of Raw, SmackDown. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a loaded weekend of wrestling, that's for sure.
Sure was.
Yeah, the King and Queen of the Ring, like you said, was in Saudi Arabia. The atmosphere was pretty cool. Like the fans seemed pretty into it and whatever. That stadium, arena, whatever you want to call it, it looks really big for the amount of people that are in it.
Yeah,
like it looks like there's a lot of empty, like with the walls and stuff. Looks like a lot of empty space. Like they could pack like so many more people in that.
Yeah, because you could see like the wall behind it on the where the camera was kind of looking at, and like there's a lot of empty aisles and stuff like that. I'm not sure if it's probably like a soccer stadium, I would assume, or something like that. Yeah, huge stadium. Looked pretty cool though, for the most part, for what it was.
Yeah,
the crowd was definitely into it. They were singing a lot of the songs, trying to carry it over from the past big crowd that we had over in France. So
the international crowds continue to show up,
Yeah, definitely.
Even we're not going to talk on SmackDown much, there wasn't too much that happened on it, but the Street Profits and LA Knight were in like a 6-man, I think, on SmackDown or something.
Right.
And they were doing all the Street Profit chants, and then LA Knight got up on the ropes and did the LA Knight thing, and they all popped, so they get it. It seems like they get wrestling. It ain't like they're just mindless, not exposed to the wrestling business,
Right. Yeah. The follow and that SmackDown leading up to it was, of course, in the same arena, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, King and Queen of the Ring started off. They had a warm-up match, I guess you want to call it, kickoff match. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defended their tag titles against Candice LeRae and Dee Hartwell.
Yeah.
And one thing I noted was Jade Cargill and Belair, their outfits were reminiscent of the Hart Foundation or Bret and Owen Hart with the pink and black and stuff. I thought they looked really cool.
Yeah. They were repping the pink and black. Yeah.
Yep.
Coming out looking cool. The crowd loved them. They, of course, both got their flowers and with their entrance and stuff, and still look good for the attire that they, had to wear, being in Saudi Arabia. And then you had Indy Hartwell and Candice coming out wearing black, being the clear heels, So
right.
Yeah.
And I mean, what it was, like you said, I mean, the outfits or whatever, but Bianca and Jade continue to show that they're a dominant tag team, and they're putting eyes on the women's tag team division because I feel like nobody really cared about it not nobody. A lot of people didn't really care about it for so long, but like those two being like powerhouses, it's like they're like a spectacle. Like people are going to the shows just to see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, so it's putting like spotlight on that tag division,
Right. And and the tag team championship too, because a lot of times for the women's tag team championship, it's kind of fell through the fell through, whatever you want to call it.
The cracks.
Fell through the cracks a little bit. Yeah. Excuse me. I'm tired. Yeah. Jesus.
Andy didn't have his crack this morning.
Mm-mm.
So I mean, it was a warm-up match. I don't think anybody in the world assumed Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae were going to win, but it just spotlighted Bianca and Jade a little bit. Jade still looks good in the ring. I like their little tag moves they do, like the little combo moves they do, and they worked
Yeah.
out. Like it's really cool to see them do like the back and forth with their moves, like
Yeah.
in a combination.
Not sure what that combination finisher move that they do is called, or if they even have a name for it, or if the announcers alluded to it at all. But it's very cool. It's very good. Yeah.
The EST Storm.
Yeah. They're just fucking shit up. Yeah.
It's like they're very like as far as the women's division, like Road Warrior-esque. Like they remind me of the Road Warriors. Like back in the day, like just two guys that like two women in this sense that like they're meant to like just crush everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair win. They retain their titles, and then they kicked off the main show with the women's championship match. Liv Morgan, the challenger, versus Becky Lynch. I know you got a lot to say about this one.
Oh, yeah. So last episode I was talking about, sometimes who you want to win is not always who you think is gonna win. And this time, Daddy got what he wanted. Yeah. Liv, baby. Liv is the motherfucking champion.
Oh my God.
Let's go, bitch. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all on this revenge tour now. We all going for a ride. We all on the bus. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. And I mentioned to you that like Liv winning this from Becky Lynch, there's a lot of speculation going on. Becky Lynch's contract's going to be up this weekend.
Right.
What's going to happen and stuff. And Liv Morgan wins the title. And I mentioned to you that for me, because I don't know the specifics, I try to stay out of rumor mills and stuff like that as much as possible. I try to just stick to what's in the ring and what's happening and stuff.
And I'm all in the gossip. I just can't help myself.
To me, maybe you got some of the scuttlebutt. Maybe you can fill me in here.
Pause.
So it seems a little bit could be possibility that Rhea Ripley's injury was work.
Okay.
Because it hurt Liv's right arm. Then when Liv comes back, she attacks Rhea and hurts her right arm. And she starts this revenge tour, the storyline of a revenge tour. She started her revenge by hurting Rhea like Rhea hurt her. And then Rhea drops the title, Becky Lynch gets it, and then Liv gets it, now continuing the storyline of the revenge tour until possibly when Rhea comes back and wins the title back. And I'm like, because I haven't seen much online of like updates of Rhea Ripley, how she's doing, what's going on, like the recovery process. Like you usually see like with the CM Punk or other wrestlers that get hurt, you see like the
rehab process or surgery or this or that. Yeah. And all we've really seen is Buddy Matthews on the beach playing patty. Yeah. And, and people, photoshopping his face out of the picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the IWC putting their own face on the picture.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Face down.
Yeah. I did not see that. Yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Don't check my browser history. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that may actually make sense because for the fact and the reason that how Liv has won the championship, okay, that it may be planned with this revenge tour because when Rhea went out, they had a battle royal, right? And Becky won the battle royal, and they could have gave Liv the championship at that time. They could have let her win the battle royal because she was runner up in it, I believe.
Right.
So I guess it may lead me to believe that they had this somewhat planned to go to Queen of the Ring and for Liv to win the title there. And with this story, with the Judgment Day, with Dominic, with Finn maybe, with whoever, who knows.
JD was seen talking with Liv in the background.
JD too, yeah. And, Dom was telling her she was going to make sure she didn't take Mommy's title, but somehow Dom made sure that she did.
What would you think if maybe Damian Priest is the one with Liv Morgan this whole time?
Kind of pulling the strings?
Yeah, like it's set up to make it look like everybody from the Judgment Day is kind of behind the scenes, like
Right.
with Liv Morgan, when it's really Damian Priest.
And he's setting them
In
up, and
cahoots.
it's mutiny from Rhea Ripley, because Damian Priest knows that she's been the real leader at this point, and he's kind of jealous, and he wants to take control of that, and he's the champion now. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's kind of a cool conspiracy theory you got going there. Yeah,
The mommy mutiny.
the mutiny of mommy.
So we'll see going forward. I mean, there wasn't too much. I liked Becky Lynch's outfit for what they had to wear in Saudi Arabia, for it to be like a woman's suit, like with the collars and stuff. It kind of looks like, if anybody, it looked like that's something she would normally wear to the ring, for a match. So it kind of put me back into it a little bit,
I thought it was kind of an eyesore.
I think Liv's an eyesore.
It looked good until I saw Liv's outfit. Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. If you catch
Pushing
my drift. Yeah.
Yeah. Picking it up. So Liv Morgan won. I mean, this match was a little bit sloppy to me. Wasn't too into it. Next was the IC title. Sami Zayn, the champion, being challenged by Bronson Reed and Chad Gable.
Yeah. I wasn't
with Otis on the outside.
Just with Otis. No, Tozawa and no
Maxine Dupree.
Maxine Dupree. Yeah. Where were they? Who knows? But this match surprised me. It was better than I guess I anticipated or thought it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you shouldn't underestimate Sami Zayn. But most importantly, Bronson Reed, I believe, impressed me the most in the match, because I haven't really been buying into much with his whole gimmick or character or, come up at this point in the WWE. But I actually enjoyed his part of the match. I even thought Chad Gable did great, and they had a few triple suplex things and different combination things they did with each other that I thought was really well planned out. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the triple German suplex, or it'll be a double German suplex, I guess. But
yeah,
that was really well played out. And I'm still not fully on board with Bronson Reed. He's a big menacing guy, but he doesn't really get a lot of wins. So the credibility kind of goes away for me, and that's not his fault. It's just how they have the booking decisions. But yeah, it was cool. It was a cool little match. Sami Zayn's so good in the ring, and I'm just upset with that they just don't have much for him creatively as far as his title run's going.
Yeah.
And then you had Chad Gable with Otis on the outside. Otis has got this angel devil thing on his shoulder, and Miss Sammy, I believe, and clothesline Chad Gable, which led to the finish. And
it's funny. It's fun. I get a good comedic laugh out of Chad Gable now. And when he came out, they were doing kind of like the "You suck" Kurt Angle chants in a way.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah. So, I there's a place in wrestling for comedic storylines and stuff like that, but just to have it surrounding the IC title so much, I could see just do a quick program and then move on. But the fact that it's just continuing to the IC title, it just kind of.
Yeah.
I'm losing interest,
Of the match. They had a human centipede ankle lock going on. You can copyright that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Put that on a
watched
t-shirt.
The movie, don't.
Yeah. 1 through 3. Yeah.
Oh man, people haven't watched that, have no clue what you're talking about, but it's a beautiful thing.
Check it out.
Don't check it out.
Let us know what you think in the comments.
Of the human centipede.
Yeah.
We're gonna give up. We're gonna give up reviewing wrestling and talk about the human centipede for a little bit. Yeah, so Sammy ends up winning, retains the title. Right person won, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, definitely. I think he'd do really well with an IC title run, but I think they need to me personally think they need to do more with him, get him away from the comedy and the redemption. It's like he's like Luke Skywalker trying to bring people back from the dark side or some shit, and it's like.
You kind of gotta get through that story now too. And what is they gonna make him like the leader of the Alpha Academy, and they're gonna kick Chad Gable out, kind of, or get them to come over to the the good side now.
Yeah,
like
and then
the light side.
Chad Gable's gonna side with the Creed brothers, and it's gonna be a 6-man feud, and again taking spotlight away from the IC title. Like, we'll see.
Yeah.
Then we had the Queen of the Ring match, Naya Jax versus Lyra Valkyria.
Yes.
Lyra's intro was pretty cool. The Raven look or whatever, like the wings and the whole intro was pretty cool. She's got a presence about her. I don't know too much about her. I didn't follow her too much in NXT, but
Are you talking about Big Bird?
No, I'm not talking about Naya. I'm talking about Lyra.
Okay. The other Big Bird.
Yeah, the other Big Bird.
No. She had them big wings coming out.
Yeah, it was kind of a cool little with like the background and the smoke and stuff. It was kind of a cool, like entrances.
The camera angle. Yeah,
entrances are. Yeah, because it looked like she was like descending.
Yeah.
Like the way the camera shot up to her, but she was really just standing the whole time. It was a pretty cool little intro. Like I said, Lyra's got she's got a presence about her. There's something to her. She's got something, and I think she's going to be a big time player moving forward. Nia Jax is just big moving forward, and
her coming out, through NXT, of course, she was a big force there, and they obviously feel very highly about her to give her this push to be Queen of the Ring, to be able to have the shot at being the Queen of the Ring, right? To be in that sort of main event spot with Nia for that. So I thought she did great considering who she was working with. I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax, so yeah.
And it's nothing personally. Like if you and I say something about not being a fan of somebody, it's nothing personally. It's just I've never really cared for her work too much.
No, she's had her moments, punching Becky Lynch in the face and little stuff like that. But Lyra did what she could with the match, and so did Nia Jax too. They did have a few good spots where I was like, oh, okay, but I just wasn't. When we found out who the two were going to be that were going to face each other for that crown, I just wasn't too enthralled,
Yeah, and I think this is a situation where Lyra losing doesn't hurt her credibility, because she just got called up from NXT, and she just became on the main roster and got all the way to the finals, even though she lost.
Right.
It shows that she showed that she has something, and the matches she had leading up to it were really good matches, solid matches. So that forgot what she calls it, man. I'm a terrible analyst here, but that like bonsai drop thing.
That's what I was gonna call it. The
bonsai drop. Axe did to her while she was like partly sitting up, and then did it. It looked very brutal. Like
that was going. It looked like it could have cracked her sternum or ribs or something like that. Like I was impressed with that finisher in that way. I thought that was cool. I didn't know if there was going to be some type of interference or like dirty play or something like that. But
it's a PG show. I don't think dirty play.
Yeah, get your mind out get the mind out the gutter. Yeah,
it's been in there since the Human Centipede. But
fair enough. I have that effect on people.
Yeah, so Nia Jax, but Nia Jax wins. She's the Queen of the Ring, and I'll have some comments after the King of the Ring. But like it was cool. Triple H coming out, putting the crown on her. You could tell she was very like legit, like felt big to her. She felt, that was genuine emotion from her in the ring and stuff. And I kind of really liked I liked the emotion that was shown there. It showed that it wasn't just another thing, that it truly did mean something to her. So
absolutely. So congratulations there. Nia Jax, Queen of the Ring.
And the long journey she's been on, she got released from WWE a couple years ago, and then coming back, and Triple H putting faith in her to like have her carry the Queen of the Ring. So flowers to her.
She's had some moments, and now this has to be probably the biggest accomplishment for her now thus far.
She won the women's title a couple years ago, but I think it was a short run. It wasn't.
Yeah.
anything
So,
memorable, you know.
right.
Then moving on, we had the King of the Ring, Gunter versus
Yeah.
Randy Orton
The ring general.
versus the Viper.
Yeah.
Um,
RKO.
yeah, they did what they were supposed to do. This was just a hard hitting.
Yeah.
Randy Orton selling Gunter's attack. Yeah, all the way to the finish. I thought this was very, very well done.
Yeah, you called it with like the injuries leading up to and like the submission angle on it, sorta.
Yep.
And of course, Randy being hurt with the matches going into it, he played to that. So yeah, it was a solid match. I mean, come on, it's two future Hall of Famers easily. You know,
Yeah. Yep.
Randy Orton's Hall of Famer at this point, obviously, but Gunter sure will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Randy really knows how to put shine on somebody else in a match. He's not selfish in that way.
Yeah.
Being such a veteran and being so decorated as he is, like
Right.
he could very very easily just, not sell or not give Gunter anything. And I think he really they did back and forth really well. I can't stand this. I'm a big Randy Orton fan, but I can't stand this backdrop on the table thing he does.
Yeah, I want to
It
see
just-
the table break. And every
Yeah.
time I see it happen, I'm like, did they want the table to break and it just didn't break, or is this like we have some new stronger tables now in the WWE that withstand a lot? Yeah,
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so if I pull a table out from under the ring and set it up and backdrop somebody on it, I'm going to get disqualified. But I can drop somebody on the announce table and not get disqualified, So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
little details there that I nitpick everything. So it just that kind of shit just kind of bothers me a little bit, but
yeah, and with him like you said, selling for Gunter really well. He absolutely did, because he was kind of like withstanding the chops for a while, or he would
Yeah.
take some that hurt and then he would kind of stand up to it and be good, and then he would come back and Gunter would kind of be surprised that he was able to take that beating or that punishment, and then he was finally, of course, able to kind of wear Randy down over time. But I was doubting, and who was going to win for a while, back and forth a little bit with how they were playing it out. So I thought that was cool,
Yeah, and the finish was, if it was executed correctly,
yeah,
would have been really well done. But
Yeah.
and it was just a bad camera angle, and I'm not going to sit here and kill it. But Randy Orton hit the RKO, right, and then he pinned Gunter and got a 2 count, and then Gunter rolled him back.
Yeah,
I think so, it was something along those lines. Anyway, it was a surprise roll up from Gunter at the end on Orton for the 1, 2, 3, and the camera angle showed that Orton's left shoulder clearly wasn't down.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the ref just continued to pin and kind of lost it a little bit for the finish for me,
Yeah,
And
you could have fit a lot of spitzel and sauerkraut in between.
There you go. You got it. You got it.
Yeah. In between that shoulder and that mat. I don't know. Yeah. That ref must be in on it.
There's a lot of room between the ring and the general, but
yeah, they played it well for the ending too, and what Triple H kind of had to say afterwards, and I'm sure they're going to play into it now, even if it wasn't on purpose. It was by mistake or whatnot. And yeah, I think the injuries of Randy leading up to that kind of let the ring general get that little quick 1, 2, 3 on him, and that way out of nowhere, sort of, when Randy didn't expect it and he wasn't fully 100% able to kick out of that and reverse that quick reversal from Gunter. So I thought that was a cool finish in that way too, but the camera angle and the 1, 2, 3, I just don't know about that. The internet was kind of on fire about that for a while, you know.
And it was funny because, like,
Overshadowed it, too.
right. And
Yeah.
when they were showing the replays, they were showing it from different angles to make sure, like, they would try to protect that because they didn't really know what to do. But, then Triple H came out after and made a statement, which was really protected it a little bit, you know, saying that he was excited to crown the King of the Ring, and he overlooked it because of that, and, you know, they're going to address it in the future, and, you know, it was pretty cool to protect that botched finish like that and stuff, and but so Gunter is the King of the Ring, and Nia Jax is Queen of the Ring, and what I was going to say earlier is that
Gunter, King of the Ring.
Hold your applause, please. Andy got a new soundboard he's working with over there. So, so what I was saying is Nia Jax and Gunter winning. I think heels winning King of the Ring means more to them than a babyface winning the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
Because going forward to saying you're Queen or King of the Ring is kind of like a conceited, like, you know, like, oh, look at me kind of prestige. So, I think it means more for a heel to win those than the babyface going forward.
Yeah, and we learned that they're going to get their title shots too.
Yeah, at
that
Clash of the Clash of the Castle at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
That's able to lead to with the story for them winning too. Sets it up nicely, as we will get into. Yeah.
So the main event time, we had Logan Paul, Prime Logan Paul.
Yeah.
The Maverick. What did they call
Maverick.
him? The Maverick.
Hey,
Logan Paul versus the Saudi Arabia Nightmare. Cody Rhodes.
Something, Cody Rhodes. Whoa. Yeah. There we go.
I got it, bro. Nailed it. So
word for
we're
word.
good to go, man. Yeah.
Yes.
So you know, two great workers in the ring. Logan Paul sells very well. I think we've talked about before. He's really good at selling. He's very good at the facials. Making things, little intricate things happen to make things seem to mean more. I have no real complaints about this match other than the whole guy from the crowd with the Prime bottle. At one point gave Logan Paul a bottle of Prime to drink, and then Cody Rhodes flipped him over the barricade, almost like almost like a heel move, you know. And which is very interesting because they didn't have the Prime logo in the ring. They didn't have the Prime set up on the side.
That's true.
And almost maybe Saudi Arabia just wasn't feeling the sponsorship thing.
They're not down with Prime. They don't like the ingredients.
All natural, my ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess they're not pro hydration drinks, but like I don't know. So that whole part was kind of, I understand it, but like every single Logan Paul match has a kind of like a side thing with one of his friends or one of his people he's on social media with and stuff, and it's kind of played out to me. But
right. Yeah, it is. But he continues to show out, though.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like every match, or every at least big match that he's been having, it keeps getting better and better. Like, I thought his match against, Roman Reigns was great.
Yep.
But
everything. Every match he's in, and that's what I'm saying, that little sideshow shit really doesn't need to happen in his matches because he can perform, he can do his thing, you know?
Yeah. And, obviously he's gotten a lot of help from all the big people at WWE. I believe Shawn Michaels was helping train him and a lot of people. And he's clearly hasn't taken that for granted.
Right.
And he's retained a lot of that knowledge, which is really cool. And he sold it throughout the match great. Like you said, he just keeps being even greater as a heel, and he just really understands it. And the athleticism is clearly there. And him and Cody were just going back and forth. And Cody was showing some feistiness too, which is what I wanted to see out of him, because Logan was definitely challenging him going into that too, kind of being a jerk and seeing if he could throw it back. So Cody was able to kind of tap into that nightmare side, Yeah. So I thought that was cool to see out of him, you know, because the top baby face, like kissing baby things kind of gets old for me somewhat a little bit. So you got to show like a little bit of dimension to your character sometimes. So
Agreed.
I enjoyed that part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the whole Prime bottle thing was meant to set up because Cody Rhodes threw the guy over, it distracted the referee, and then
Yeah.
that gave Logan Paul the brass knuckles to punch Cody in the stomach with, or the chest, or whatever he punched him with. And
Yeah.
this is another thing too. Like Michael Cole,
Yeah.
was it Michael Cole was explaining at the beginning of the match that he's like, "Oh, you're not going to use the brass knuckles," and then he was explaining that he's like, "Well, it's a known fact that Logan Paul broke his hand, so he has a titanium plate in his hand now."
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if Logan Paul's got a fucking titanium plate in his hand, why does he need brass knuckles?
Right.
Like,
Well,
just punch somebody with the titanium plate in your hand. Like,
and he has sold that punch before with certain people too,
Right.
which is kind of confusing too. So yeah, I guess that is kind of a problem. But
yeah, if you have a titanium plate in your hand, what's the need for brass knuckles?
yeah, just need a little bit more.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, so they, like I said, I don't want to nitpick too much shit. So there's a lot of cool different spots, little cool back and forths they had. I thought the frog splash off the top rope through the announce table with the drone shot looked really cool. That was really well done.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that the finish, the ring announcer, the guest ring announcer, I guess he's some Saudi Arabian celebrity or something.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was some Saudi Arabian celebrity. He's the one that did the announcing when they came to the ring.
Yep.
For whatever reason, he just got up and just started yelling at Logan Paul.
He wasn't going to stand for this in his country.
Yeah, and Logan Paul was like, "Who are you?" And then Cody Rhodes was like, "Cody Rhodes, bitch."
Oh yeah,
and then okay. So then
he got that from Brandy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had a little bit of Brandy Rhodes in him for that.
Yeah.
But then did 3 fucking crossroads again.
Yep.
To pin, and that's kind of played out for me. But
well, how long's it gonna be till somebody has to take 4 of them?
4. And
is it gonna take Roman 4 or 5 next time then?
Yeah,
or
yeah, and it takes the believability away from me. It's the same thing as like the 3 amigos and shit like that. Like that the person is gonna cooperate that long enough to take 3 of them, like to stay. I don't know.
Yeah, and if I was training to go in a match against Cody, I would train myself to be able to take 3 crossroads.
Right.
Oh
man, I did 4 of those things last night. I took it. I
took 4 crossroads.
Woo. Yeah. I was on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
I'm going back to my high school days right now. So
flashback.
Oh, my background's blurry, man. I think I'm having a flashback. Yeah, so at the end of the day, the right person won. Cody Rhodes won. He retains. His title reign's going on. And, people are giving some shit about his title reign right now and, what they're doing with it and stuff. But we got to remember, we just came from a champion that only appeared on TV once every month or every other month or something like that. And Cody Rhodes at least is appearing.
Right.
He's defending the title. He's defended a couple times, twice since WrestleMania. It's been 2 months, so once a month since WrestleMania. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, let's give it up for Cody Rhodes. Whoa!
I googled the lyrics so I could do it a little bit.
Oh.
No, I didn't. So that was
That'd
King
be my
and Queen of the
go-to
Ring
karaoke song.
It's gonna replace "Don't Stop Believing" as the #1 karaoke song by drunk white women across the world. So that was King and Queen of the Ring. Obviously there was stuff of note, but nothing overly. I think the biggest thing coming out of it is, we could see Nia Jax and Gunter becoming King and Queen of the Ring.
Right.
I could see Cody retaining.
Yeah.
I could see Sammy retaining. Liv Morgan winning is probably the most surprising thing out of it.
Yeah.
To me, even though I don't like it, I can understand it. So
that's what I liked at least about the whole live event in general, is that there was some unpredictableness to it.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
was a match, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and it gives something to these people, like the overseas people that go to the show. It's not like all predictable for them. Like something happens that is not necessarily like expected, and it gives them something to want to go back and watch more. So
I thought it was a good kickoff to the show too. A good way to kick it off, for the main show.
Yeah, because then once that happens, that unexpected title change, we start to realize anything can happen in the WWE.
Can happen. Yeah, yep. Very true.
What did happen next was our latest episode of Monday Night Raw. Kicked off. Don't even remember where they were. I guess it's not a big deal. But it started off with Ludwig Kaiser introducing your new king of the ring general, Gunter. And
ladies and gentlemen, shut this man up.
This is fucking Kaiser, man. He's got that smackable face, bro.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So good. That's somebody that'll probably never be a babyface just because of just how he.
Yeah,
I don't know. So anyway, we had him introduce Gunter, who came out, and he actually, I think, addressed, if not right away, it was addressed about Randy Orton's shoulder not being down on the mat during this whole promo.
Yeah.
So it's cool. They're kind of just leaning in and continuing with that. And,
he gave him respect too. Yeah.
Yep. And that's cool. I like a respectful heel. Like, he doesn't have to be like dastardly and whatever. Like, he gets it done, and it just adds to his credibility, if you ask me.
And he came out not wearing the crown. He was holding the crown. Yeah,
well,
which is better. Yeah,
he can't mess up his comb over with the
gel
gig line.
Yeah.
And then started talking about Damian Priest, and out comes the World Heavyweight Champion,
DP. Hey, yo, DP. Yeah.
Oh man, I never thought of that until just now.
I fucks with Damian Priest though now.
This could be an X-rated episode.
Yeah. Oof.
If you mess with me, I'm gonna give you the DP.
Explicit content.
Yeah.
Here comes the bondage Undertaker from the Bronx.
Yeah. So he came out, and he's from Brooklyn, isn't he?
Thought it was the Bronx. Maybe I'm okay.
He's from a B part of New York City.
He's from one of the boroughs. Yeah.
Monty, help us. So
thought it was the Bronx, man. Yeah.
I have no clue, man.
I don't know. Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's Brooklyn. So he's from the city, and he comes out, and he held his own on the microphone again. Kind of did his thing, and showing a little bit more aggressive, but almost babyface side to him. As far as I'm concerned, and then which also got interrupted by Drew McIntyre, who came out to the ring and had some choice words himself, and I don't know. There was Drew McIntyre said something really cool to Damian Priest and all this when he said that they're going to fight at Clash at the Castle.
Yes.
And he's like, you're going to be in my hometown, he said, and the people there are going to they're going to break you mentally before I break you physically.
Yeah. And it took Roman Reigns. Roman was broken. The only reason that Roman won was because of Solo and the interference. Right. And which is a fair point. I mean, it seemed like Drew had it in the bag going back to that match, and a lot of people thought he might actually win. I didn't think there was a chance in hell he was going to win that match. But
and it's funny because like while Drew and Priest start talking shit to each other, Gunther just like bows out.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah.
See you guys later.
Because it doesn't matter, because he knows he's going to be at SummerSlam regardless, and
let those two tear each other apart.
Exactly. Damian Priest, DP, he's killing it now. And every time he's on the mic now, it gets better and better too. Because I felt like that wasn't his strong suit at first, and he was always great in the ring, hard hitting, sells everything good, the way he does everything. but now he just keeps elevating, raising to a new level, and especially having to do that with Drew McIntyre, you have to step your game up because Drew's promos and disrespect and insults and mind games are on a whole nother level now. And I thought Damian surprised me because I thought when Drew was going to say that stuff, he wasn't going to quite have the right comebacks. And for what it was, and I thought he countered everything pretty damn good with what he said to Drew. And he got in Drew's head a little bit. Looked like, right?
Yeah. It's good. And I think that moving forward with all of this, personally, I don't want to see CM Punk on TV until the Clash at the Castle.
Yeah.
Make people almost forget about it.
Right.
Not forget about it, but kind of put it off to the side. Because everybody's like thinking like, oh my God, Drew's going to win at Clash of the Castle in his hometown.
Right.
And just to have Punk come and fucking... Man, that's going to be a heel move for Punk to cost Drew the title in his hometown, though.
Yeah, I'm here for it. If that's what's going to happen, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be good payback. I expect Drew to probably almost win that war at some point, if that's what's going to happen with Punk, I think. Or Punk's at least going to get a huge beatdown from Drew after that. But, that's a whole nother story for another day, of course. I think it's about a month away, Clash at the Castle, or a little bit less than a month. So maybe we'll see Punk like once, maybe twice at the most, with a small promo or a small little something in the ring with a little bit of back and forth with them. But I think it'd probably be better, like you said, to do the minimal amount with that. So you can kind of give Damian and Drew that room to breathe and build that up more between them. So we're only really thinking about them. Yeah.
Right. And then it's going to make it, if it does happen at Clash of the Castle, it makes it that much more meaningful,
Yeah. And Drew could win at Clash too. It's possible. They might give it to him there. There is this unpredictableness we've been talking about that they have been doing. So maybe we got it wrong.
Yeah. You never know. And it would. I don't think the Punk Drew feud needs to have the title.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, I would love to see Punk win the title and like maybe win it at WrestleMania, but I don't think that feud necessarily needs the title to mean something.
And that's true because Drew and Gunter have kind of already had their rivalry a little bit too, so it is kind of time for Damian and Gunter to have that. So SummerSlam might be the perfect stage for that, and that'll be a good match too because we haven't really seen them do much in the ring at this point. I don't believe so.
No. Yeah. So that's gonna be interesting because do you want? That's down the line. We'll get into it later on. But my thoughts go on. Like I sit here and like think like I'm like already thinking to the Royal Rumble. Like what's
like
happen
what could be
shit.
what. So, WrestleMania, all that. Yeah.
So this whole promo all breaks down to JD McDonough, the Judgment Day being out there, Braun Strowman coming out.
Yeah.
Having a match. I didn't think too much of this shit. Like should have been a quick squash over with to make it competitive in any way. It was just, took me right out of it.
They're trying to chop the big man down a little bit and, hurt his leg or whatever to have a little bit of a chance. And, JD McDonough is just a joke to me. Like,
right. And it's, like I said, to have it competitive at all just takes away from Braun Strowman, if you ask me. It just makes it.
Yeah, that's true.
Seem
you
like
had him
he's
just
not
come
as
back.
menacing.
Yeah.
So, and then, there was some brouhaha from the Judgment Day during the match. There's something I've noticed here too, and I was going to bring it up later when they had the backstage, but do you notice that Finn Balor has not been wearing any Judgment Day merch?
Oh yeah, and he doesn't like put the handkerchief in his back pocket really
and
much.
His shirt's always just a plain black shirt. He's not wearing any Judgment Day stuff, anything for the last few weeks, and that's just something to probably keep an eye on. I don't know.
Yeah, and Damian told them to stay out of the ring too when he had first went down to have the initial, interaction. So
Yeah.
He don't want their help. It's clear. I
Yeah.
don't think. I think he wants to be all alone, and he's trying to distance himself with that too. So good for him for stepping up and wanting to do it all by himself too.
But is
Will it
that all
cost
part
him?
of his? Is that all part of his evil plot to side with Liv Morgan?
The conspiracy. Yeah.
Listen, they're building Liv's character up, like being involved with all these dudes. Like, obviously she's okay with it, she's doing it, but I wouldn't want to do a storyline where I'm just like,
right.
I'm leaving that alone.
Unless
So
I'm
anyway,
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The DP Revenge Tour.
Jesus Christ. Andrew DP, your new name. Yeah, Strowman wins. He chases McDonough and the Judgment Day off after the match, and that's a continual storyline throughout the rest of Raw. Next, we see Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet backstage, going over Ricochet's checking his ribs from a week ago, making sure they're fine. And then it gets brought up that Braun Breaker has been suspended for what happened last week. Which leads into Dragunov versus Ricochet 2. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm not bought in on Dragunov.
No. I haven't been up to this point, but I'm starting to feel him a little bit more.
Okay.
I thought like the promo was good and stuff like that, but I'm not with all the like this is stupid. This is wrestling. Like you're not in a freaking orchestra or something, like, or whatever the hell he's doing. Like, I ain't here for that shit, man. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck going on. Killing me.
Yeah, he's like the maestro of mayhem or whatever the fuck they call it.
Oh, okay, so that's what it is.
Yeah, it's not maestro of mayhem. I made the second part up, but I think that's what it is. But
fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm not really sold on him. I'm not really sold on Ricochet as well. Ricochet is just a consummate mid-carder, and I mentioned something online, and somebody's like, "But he's the speed champion." It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. Who watching? Come on, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on it, but they, had the match where it was beautifully timed at the end for the disqualification. Braun Breaker comes in and just fucking demolishes Ricochet with the spear and showing more of that menacing, crazy side. And I think I'm bought into what's going to happen moving forward with him. I really like that whole scenario they're going with Braun Breaker just being like crazy and
he won't be denied.
Right, not caring about authority and everything else. So technically, Ilya won this match too. No, wait, Ricochet won this match technically because Braun Breaker attacked Ricochet, so it would disqualify Ilya. And I think I'm thinking too far into that. They're probably not gonna, because wins and losses don't matter in the WWE, brother. But and then Alec Pierce, is Alex or Alec Pierce?
Adam Pierce.
It's neither one.
Yeah.
I've been saying Alec or Alex for the last 3 weeks on our fucking shows, and it's Adam Pierce.
Alec Trebek.
Alex Trebek. Okay, so Alex Trebek came in the ring and confronted Braun Breaker, and Braun Breaker just laughed him off and walked away. And are we setting up a Alex Trebek versus Braun Breaker match?
You want some of this too? Not gonna put me in the turn. Yeah, we got like his little. It showed the close-up camera angle from last week of what he was saying to himself when he was like hitting the turnbuckle and having a mental breakdown and about to absolutely kill this guy with the spears in the ring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think, would Alex Trebek's finisher be the double Jeopardy?
That'd be a good one.
I don't know.
The signature would be the daily double. Pa, pa. Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. Daily double. Fuck. I'm off today. Yeah, so anyway, that's just I'm excited to see where it's going. Braun Breaker, they got big plans for him. I think they're just trying to slow burn this while other storylines are playing out, and I'm here for that as well.
Yep.
We had a Sheamus Kaiser type thing going on. Sheamus came out to the ring. Kaiser was up on the Titantron. It's starting to
Sheamus. Yeah.
What are you doing in the ring, Sheamus? So it just was kind of a time filler to me. Sheamus Kaiser rivalry is whatever, but
I'm in catering and I'm taking all the cheeseburgers, Seamus. What are you gonna do?
may have 1% body fat. You have the other 99% body fat. Jesus, I should have did voice acting. So, built up to that. Then next we had Lyra Valkyria versus Kairi Sane. Again, I think Lyra had a really good showing in this match.
Yeah, I'll give it to her for there. Yeah, for sure.
Kairi Sane's good in the ring too. So you're only as good as the person you're in the ring with. But I think it was a really solid women's match. Lyra came out with a win, starting to build her some more.
Yes.
And I'm here for that. I'm really here for it. I want to hear more of her mic skills once she starts getting into like established rivalries and stuff or storylines. But
right.
I can ride along with this Lyra Valkyria train that they're doing.
Yeah, they're still going with it now, and they gave her the win, so they're trying to keep her with that momentum going, and then she getting even more of a cosign from Becky Lynch backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Leading up to that. So,
and that could be a catalyst for Becky Lynch coming back in the future, like Lyra, goading her to come back for a match, and whatever.
Right.
So,
right. Yeah.
Then we had the Judgment Day backstage. Priest was unhappy with Dom. Shout out to BPT again because Monty from there speaks Spanish, so he filled me in when I listened to their latest episode on what Priest said.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was, I guess, very so
shout out.
Very derogatory words that they say about Dom, and probably
why are you doing this to mommy? Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. Like I said, more dissension in the ranks of the Judgment Day. I'm curious about what's happening with that, but at the same time, I feel like it's getting a little bit overplayed. So I think they just need to pull the trigger one way or the other of what's going on with it and not really drag it out. They're probably going to drag it out till SummerSlam when Rhea can come back, hopefully. But I really hope they don't. So that set up Carlito versus Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, it's just kind of a filler match for me. I mean, all respect due to Rey Mysterio and Carlito, I guess, but yeah.
Yeah, and it reminded me of like back in the 90s when Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage went to WCW, and then WWF had this match, the Huckster versus the Nacho Man. And it was like two old guys in the ring trying to like wrestle each other and stuff and using oxygen tanks during the match, and they can still both work and go. But
they want to still keep this LWO thing alive with Ray and Selena, and
and I think that they're focusing too much on Ray and not building up like Selena or Dragon Lee or wasn't Andrade part of this? And now it's just
Andrade.
Not, So I think
then Carlito was back and kind of part of this Judgment Day thing, of course, and is now, I guess. I don't why they let him in, but R-Truth still technically part of supposed to be a member. He beat JD, supposed to be part of it, but who knows?
Yeah, and then at that point, speaking of R-Truth, we had the ice cream truck segment. I think I missed that from earlier, but not really nothing to note on that. Just more comedy shit.
Yeah,
more teasing of Xavier Woods joining Karrion Kross.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because Karrion Kross showed up and was trying to put some dissension in the New Day.
Yeah.
Right?
What's Karrion Kross's favorite ice cream flavor?
Ooh. Black raspberry.
Oh, you think so? He looks like a coffee guy. I think he eats coffee ice cream. But
mint chocolate chip.
At some point, like I said, the comedy shit with Miz and R-Truth is like, it's okay. There is, like I said before, there's comedy there's a place for comedy in wrestling, but it's just kind of getting a little bit too played out for me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of these like segments and stuff are focusing on the characters and not the titles.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. There's not much threat to the tag titles in any
No.
type of way really going on, or like tournament or build to who's gonna challenge next for it, or type of prestige to hold it up there, because we got these new tag titles and it was built up to WrestleMania with these matches, right?
Mhm.
For the ladder match to get them, but we haven't really got. And same with SmackDown with the tag champions there, we haven't got much. So
Right. And and it's to the point where like same thing with the IC title. It's like
yeah,
there's not like much around it. The characters are there, and it actually floods into the next thing with they had the segment with the Alpha Academy and Chad Gable, and
yeah,
Chad Gable was gonna give Otis 10 lashings, and which was a little bit awkward, but
yeah,
then Sami Zayn comes out to kind of save and try to bring Otis back to the light side and
yeah.
whatever, and it's like and it's like a half-ass. It's not a comedy segment, but I guess I don't know. I'm not with this at all. I'm a big Sami Zayn fan, but I am not a fan of this whole storyline at all.
Yeah, can we get to what it's supposed to be now? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's plenty of people on the roster that Sammy can have a good feud, a good storyline, and a good match with, that we don't need to keep fucking with all of this, because what ends up happening, Otis
Braun
ends up
Breaker.
turning.
Like, come on,
Yeah, to be determined with that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm just, like I said, I'm not really big into that. Like, it is what it is. Like, I understand. Okay, so like building a storyline and a slow burn and stuff like that, but I feel like that's already passed, because now Sami Zayn's beaten Chad Gable twice,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 times, twice, I think it is. And
And Chad beat him the match before the triple threat, one-on-one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's been a back and forth.
Yeah, it's like 50-50 booking, and I don't really understand it, but
yeah,
hopefully they got better things in store for Sammy, because he's too good of a talent to be wasted on just like sideshow shit. But hey, when Chad was about to fucking shout out to Maxine Dupree here, because when Chad was about to whip Otis, Maxine Dupree's the one that stepped up and blocked Chad Gable and stopped him from the first whipping. And
yeah.
She's got some promise, man. There's something about her too. I don't think she's the best in the ring or the best necessarily character, but there's something interesting about her.
Maybe she was the one that wanted to be spanked. Oh, did I say that? I don't know. Oh. Whoops.
That's my belt, not Otis's.
That's my spanking.
That's a good That's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. We're going to move with that going forward. That's a good idea.
No, it was cool. I like seeing that out of her, being the voice of reason to stop it and step up, because I'm a fan of her, especially like personality wise. Like, she's shown good dimension like that. She's, good athlete. I mean, her worm is, but
she has a worm.
Well, she needs to work on it a little better. She can do the worm.
Okay, cool.
Otis showed her the worm.
Oh.
Yeah. In the ring.
Okay.
If that makes it any better. Yeah.
I missed that episode. So finally, the main event was a steel cage match. The champion, Liv Morgan, against the challenger, Becky Lynch.
Yeah. And, it was a good build-up, too, because like I said, we had Lyra backstage with Becky Lynch, and throughout the Raw, it was announced at the beginning we were going to have this steel cage match, this rematch from the Queen of the Ring, King Queen of the Ring tournament, pay-per-view. And they were sitting backstage, and Becky was kind of reminiscing with Lyra, saying things like it doesn't always like work out how you want it to be, and sometimes you just have to let things go, and it's not always about how you want it to go, but how it is and how you gotta learn from it. Don't quote me. That's not exactly what she said, but she was kind of going that direction, and it was kind of
Yeah.
it was foreshadowing for what was about to happen in the match.
Right.
Yes.
And there was a lot of emotion on Becky when she came out, and I think that was kind of a cool will she, won't she type thing. I think at the end of the day, nobody thought she was actually going to win the title right back, but
yeah, it doesn't happen much. You get these rematches after, the big matches, and there's usually some type of interference or, something. Yeah.
why does it look like when Liv Morgan's walking to the ring that she's clenching a pencil between her butt cheeks?
I mean,
that walk is
maybe it's not
fucking atrocious.
Maybe
bro.
it's not a pencil. Maybe it's a butt plug.
Maybe it's Dom's handkerchief.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like the way she walks to the ring, that she has to like flip her. I do not like that at all. It looks
part of the
absolutely ridiculous.
Watch me thing,
Yeah, it looks like she's trying not to piss her pants. Like I'm watching you try not to shit yourself walking to the ring.
Hey,
like,
man, give her respect. She's on her her revenge tour. Like, come on, let's go.
I'm gonna go to your house and break that button. So, but yeah, it just bothers. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Liv Morgan really that big a fan at all. And whatever. This was a sloppy cage match. There was a lot of like the rubbing the face on the cage.
Yeah, no blood. Yeah.
And there's a couple big spots, but like it was kind of.
The crowd wasn't too crazy about it either. They were
No.
into it a little bit, but until it got to the end, of course. But
right, and then Dom had to come out and
accidentally.
Again. I don't know, man. Like,
I would have almost rather just see him do it on purpose, even at the the live event too. Played more into that, but then it played into what happened after that. But I'll let you speak more on what you're going to say, anyways.
I got nothing much to say on it. You know, I mean, it almost looked like Becky had the upper hand and was going to win anyway, but then Dom had to come out, open the cage door up, and try to like get her out.
Yes,
but then Braun Strowman, who had been chasing JD around the arena the whole time, just happened to come out to the arena at that certain spot and chase JD and Finn Balor, I think, around the cage.
Yep.
Just as Becky Lynch was coming to leave, and then Braun Strowman hit Dom, who hit the door, who hit Becky, and
perfect coincidence.
And,
the perfect coincidence. Yeah.
When there's too much cooperation involved in something, I kind of, it's like, okay, but
it's
whatever.
A setup. Yeah.
Right. And it caused Liv to escape the cage, retain the title, and then as Raw went off the air, we didn't see it.
Only some people saw it. Yes.
Right. I think over like not America didn't see it, but like other countries, England and
streaming networks did show it in America, I guess, from what I saw. But as far as on TV, it was not. I seen it online, which I don't know if it was planned or not to be like that, which is very possible that it was. It was the kiss not seen around the world.
Yeah.
That everybody's talking about.
Liv Morgan met up with Dom on the entryway and
showed her affection.
Yeah, showed her something. And was trying to tongue down Dom. And,
a married man.
That's the whole thing. That takes me out of this whole fucking storyline, bro. Like, oh, Rhea's my mommy. Oh, I might be fooling around with Liv. Like, everybody knows he's fucking married in real life. So,
hey, we didn't get we've never had a real kiss between Rhea and Dom, though, right? We've never seen backstage where she had him tied up, dominating him.
Doming Dom.
Doming Dirty Dom. I'm Dirty Dom. Yeah.
All I know is, like, I feel like at some point down the line, they're going to have a Dom babyface turn, and I'm here for it.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be a champion someday or something. He's not going anywhere. Yeah.
This is why
I'm saying it's coming soon, but yeah.
Right. This is why I think Priest is with Liv Morgan on this, because it's going to be, Priest is going to say, it was me, Rhea. It was me the whole time. And then Rhea's going to come out as the babyface in that feud, and Dom's going to be by her side, like, still supporting fucking mommy. And Dom's going to have this monster fucking babyface reaction that, like,
Yep.
it's going to be fucking cool.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus. So yeah, so to wrap this all up, like we were saying, Becky Lynch, as of now, still hasn't signed officially, publicly signed a contract with WWE.
Yep.
They supposedly her contract expires on June 1st. I don't think she's going anywhere.
No.
I think after WrestleMania, they had said that she had planned on taking a vacation and then came back because of the whole Rhea Ripley injury storyline.
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
that's true. Yes.
So
yes.
maybe she's just taking time off, taking a vacation. I don't think there's 0% chance. I think she's going to AEW. I don't think that's a thing at all.
Yeah, the IWC think, there's some rumors of it and people thinking that she will. I think, her or Seth Rollins would be the last people to ever jump to AEW after the things they've said and how they act about the company and their loyalty. I think where it lies is very obvious. So
yeah, and I don't know. I don't, a lot of these IWCP. Okay, so like if they're AEW faithful, they're gonna fucking sit there and bash WWE and their product. But when there's a chance,
they want it.
When there's a chance that Becky Lynch is going to come here. Oh my God, she's the greatest ever. She's but then when she re-signs with WWE, oh, she sucks. Or we didn't need her anyway. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, we'll wait and see. Friday night SmackDown looks like it's going to be pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. And we are going to be in attendance this Friday live. In Albany, New York.
At the MVP Arena.
Yeah. WWE SmackDown, baby.
So let's see how it goes. Hopefully there's some big storylines building up off the tail end of King and Queen of the Ring, leading towards Clash at the Castle.
Right. Yeah, they said we're gonna see what's next or who's next for Cody. Hopefully. Yeah. So I'm not even sure what to predict for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited. I'm here for it. All I know is if Pretty Deadly doesn't show up, Levesque, I'm coming for you.
Yeah,
because
we are going to be all over that arena, asking security and everybody. We'll even document that. We are going to be looking for Pretty Deadly to know if they are there. If they are not there, we are going to try to make ourselves known and be seen trying to get backstage to get to Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly. If you hear this,
yes,
the RRW is coming for you.
Yes.
So I don't know. We'll try to I'll try to gaze upon those tasty snacks tomorrow night. But you missed it. But so yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good time, and that's pretty much. If you have anything else for WWE this week, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got, man. So hope to see everybody watching us live on SmackDown. Ringside Renaissance, baby. And that was us talking with the RRW weekly review for WWE. That's Pretty Deadly Jesse, and I'm Combat Jones. You've been listening to the Ringside Renaissance Wrestling Podcast. Peace.